Hi guys, yeah, this is route number 14. This is our third attempt at filming route number 14. We've had some camera issues, and but it looks okay at the moment, so let's hope that this one works. So it's route number 14 of 15, and so this is a penultimate one in this series, and it's the Coventry test route. And we've just turned left out of the test centre car park, and now we're going up to Bayton Road toward the traffic lights. There's a little bit of a queue, which gives me a little bit of time just to let you know that if you subscribe, you can see the other videos, the other test routes for this area. They're all on there. There's only number 15 that's missing, and that will come out next week, so if you subscribe you will see that as well. I'm just going to let this white lorry come out of this side road if he wants to. There you go, that's my good deed for the day done. I can be nasty to everybody now. There we are. Yeah, so you'll see the other videos there. Also, you know, if you look in the description box below the video, then what you'll see there is some useful links to different bits and pieces. So there's one for insurance, for instance, where, you know, if you're a learner driver and you do some private practice with your mum and dad or whatever, you know, you need to get insured, and you can do that through that. And when you buy your new car, your first car, they kind of specialize in new drivers and learner drivers insurance. There's another one there as well, which there's other links, should I say, which are to do with the DVSA. These are the people that conduct the tests, and their links, they kind of show what the examiner is doing, what his job is whilst you're driving along, what he's looking for, and how he should behave, he stroke she. And also there's a kind of marking sheet there as well, and an explanation on how the marking sheet works. We're just going to turn left at these traffic lights though. All of those things, including the ones from the DVSA, you know, they're all in the public domain, so you're quite at liberty just to have a look at them, do what you will. That's why they've put them up on their websites, that's why they've done that. And it's all to do with transparency, I suppose. So we've turned left into Coventry Road, and go through this set of traffic lights straight ahead. Just following this road down. It's going to take us down to a roundabout. We're going to turn right at that roundabout, taking the third exit. Now it's signposted for Nuneaton, the A444. The road is actually the B4113, and that's not that's not on any of the signs, but there it is. That's what it is. We seem to be pretty clear to continue here. So we want the third exit. That was the first one there, just past it now, and we're coming up to the second one now, so we're going to be starting to check the mirrors, change our indicator, and do your lifesaver look. Very, very important. Never forget to do your lifesaver look if you're turning right at the roundabout. It will save your life one day, and your examiner will be looking for you to do that. This is a 70-mile-an-hour road now, 70 miles an hour, although we can't do that speed at the moment because the vehicle in front of us is going quite slow, and also there's things that want to overtake us, so it's not safe for us to move out. And also it's not a very long road, this, so we're coming up to a roundabout again almost immediately. We're going to follow the signs for Nuneaton. According to the signs, that puts us into the centre lane as we come through here. up to what is in effect a big roundabout. It goes on to the M6 and it goes on to the actual A444 towards Nuneaton, which is a dual carriageway, 70-mile-an-hour dual carriageway as well. So it's quite busy here normally, and you can see today there's lots of lorries around us. The only thing we've got to remember here, or the main thing to remember should I say, is that we're in our lane and we're just going to stay in our lane, and all the way through and getting off the roundabout as well, we're just going to stay in our lane. That's all we're going to do position wise. Obviously there's a learner car in front of us as well, so they're going to be quite careful when they move off, I would imagine. It's a nice big space for us, so we're in our lane and we're going to stay inside our lane. They're indicating to the right in front of us. I'm not quite sure why they're doing that. We don't need to indicate here. We're just going to stay in this lane, like I said. I perhaps mentioned that already. Do you know, sometimes I listen to myself and I think, why do you keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, Sean? Just, you know, calm down. So anyway, but here we are. We're in this lane. And guess what? We're going to stay in it. Alright, so what that does is it takes us kind of next to the curb, so on the far left lane through the roundabout, and it means that as we come off the roundabout now, we will be on the left hand lane on the dual carriageway. Just maintaining position. And again, this is a 70-mile-an-hour road, so we do need to get moving. I'm going to overtake these people because they're going, you know, not really quick enough. We've got to get past. And actually, on the test, you will need to show that you're confident enough at these sorts of roads, at this sort of speed, to, you know, if there's a vehicle ahead of you that's clearly going too slow, you must try and get around it. As long as it's safe in the overtaking lane, as long as it's safe for you to move out, get past, and to move back in again, it's up to you to show that you're confident enough to do that. That's a lot to ask for a learner driver. As we come down here, we're going to take the next exit, or the first exit. So we've passed the 3 countdown markers, we've indicated, we've checked cameras, we've indicated left, we're keeping the speed up, we're keeping the speed right up until we move into the slip lane, and the slip lane officially is a deceleration lane, and this is where we're going to just slow the car right down. We're coming down the hill, the lights have only just turned on to green, so that's going to give us an opportunity. Hopefully they'll stay with green and we can just go round there. We're going round to the left into Heath Road. So all of that was quite quick. A couple of dual carriageways, quick roads, deceleration lane, coming down the hill to the traffic lights, all happening quite quick. When you get here onto Heath Road, the thing to do is just to calm yourself down, slow down, and just make sure that you stay at 30 or below, because that is now the speed limit. The irony here is actually this road surface is perhaps better than the ones on the dual carriageways, and it's easier then to go quicker on this road. But we're going to turn right at the traffic lights here. So we're on Heath Road, we're turning right at the traffic lights, and that's going to take us into SMORALL Lane. SMORALL Lane. That's it, there you go. And once you're in SMORALL Lane, you're going to be asked to turn right again at the next set of lights, and that will take you then into Bluebell Drive. Go into the right turn lane. The lights are really in our favour today. We're going to get through this test route in about 10 minutes at this rate. So this is Bluebell Drive. And the thing about this road here is it's now nice and quiet, although it's quite bendy. You know, ideal time for the examiner to ask you to pull in and park, just to pull off again. There's just checking to see if you're using your blind spot correctly and that, you know, so be aware of that. Also, you'll see around this next bend probably there'll be a car that's parked somewhere. It's usually there he is, and that's one that they use for kind of parallel parking. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to go past it. I'm going to turn left at the roundabout, and that is going to take us into Daffodil Drive. Always occurs to me about Daffodil Drive, what kind of red-blooded Englishman wants to live on Daffodil Drive? I don't know. Maybe the ones that live here, I don't know. It just seems a bit weird. But anyway, there it is. We're going to come to the end of this one, and guess what? We're going to turn left again. There's a roundabout there, so we're doing a nice big left loop, really, all the way around here. I actually think this one's called Primrose. Anyway, we're going to turn right when we get to the end of this road, whatever it's called. We're going to turn right when we get to the end of it, and it's going to bring us down to a kind of staggered junction. It's not called Primrose, it's called Astley Lane, so that's good. Anyway, this is a staggered junction, so we need to look right, ahead and left, and keep looking in all those three places. Make sure it's clear before we move on. It brings us back onto SMORALL Lane, and now we have kind of speed bumps. Also on the opposite side of the road there's a give way line there, and we can see that the person in the silver car has spotted that and he's giving way to us, and that's all very good, so thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We're going to turn left from SMORALL Lane into I'm going to remember it in a minute. Yeah, Anderton Road. Into Anderton Road at the mini roundabout. So now we're going to take the second left. So the junctions are coming thick and fast at this point, aren't they, really? So we're taking the second left, and that's NEWCOMAN Road. All the way around here. Now the thing about NEWCOMAN Road is there's lots of speed bumps on it at first. The thing about speed bumps, just a little tip, you want to be approaching these and going over them at about somewhere between 15 and 20 miles an hour. And if you just, as you get into it, just take your foot off the gas, just let the car take itself over, and then that what happened then, that's kind of kind to the car. You know, it's kind to your shock absorbers and your suspension system in general. And we'll just see what these bin men want to do. I think they're just moving on, so that's fine. I always say that, you know, bin men, they must be like the fittest workers in the whole country. They're going to never stop moving, do they? They, you know, they're out in the fresh air. I don't suppose they see it that way, but to me it seems like they must walk miles and miles every day. Anyway, we're on NEWCOMAN Road. Now NEWCOMAN Road here, you can see it's quite long and straight at this point. A good point for you to do your controlled stop. It used to be called an emergency stop. For some reason it's changed its name. I don't know whether it did that by deed poll, but there it is. It's now called a controlled stop. So ideal for that, this road, and also ideal to pull in on the right hand side and reverse a couple of car lengths and then rejoin the traffic. Also ideal for that. So NEWCOMAN Road, have a look at it. At the end of the road we're going to turn left. We'll turn left here. It takes us into Goodyears Road, or lane, or drive, lane maybe. Anyway, Goodyears. getting all my lanes and my drives and my roads all mixed up today. Don't know why. Perhaps it's because that's what I always do. I don't know. So on this road, good opportunity for your examiner to ask you to pull in on the left again, just because it's a bit busier, and he'll be looking to see then if you're, you know, prepared to be patient and wait for a proper space before you move off, and also to see if you'll use your blind spots again in the correct way. Anyway, when we get to the end of this road, what we see is a double roundabout. We're going to turn left at the first one and left at the second one. Essentially what you're doing here is just turning left at the end of the road. So although it looks complicated and the sign makes it look a bit more complicated that way, that's all you're doing really, just turning left at the end of the road. It doesn't need to be any more special than that really. So that has brought us back into Heath Road, and we're just facing the opposite way really. We're just driving you know, in the opposite direction along here. Back to these lights. So essentially what we've done is we've turned from where that silver car is over there, where you see he's turning left, he's turning right there now. We've turned right there and done a big old left loop, and it's brought us back down to these traffic lights, and we're just going to go straight ahead at the traffic lights here now once they have changed. There you go, that's it. That takes us forward. Again, remembering that it's a 30-mile-an-hour zone still. It's a fairly long straight road. The surface is quite nice, so again, it's easy to drift over into 31, 32 territory, and you know, you will be marked down if you continue to do that. So careful. As we come along Heath Road to the bend, you'll see some traffic lights, which currently are on green. We're going to go straight through those, so let's just see if they stay green for us. Been on green a long time. Oh, there you go. We kind of knew that was going to happen. So that's a tip as well though, isn't it? You know, when you see traffic lights, if you see them far enough ahead, the colour that they're on when you first see them is probably not going to be the colour that they're on when you get to them. So be aware of that. So if they're on green, they'll probably be on red when you get there, and also if they're on red, they'll probably be on green. So you need to approach them in a way that takes that into account. We're going to turn right now as we get under the bridge and move into the right turn lane, and that's going to take us, as we turn right off of Heath Road, that's going to take us into the Bedworth bypass, which is a slip road for the dual carriageway. So that means again here, this is an acceleration lane, so we've got to now get moving. Got to get up through the gears. To check the mirrors and indicate for right, because we're going to merge now. Click in your door mirror. We're going to merge onto the dual carriageway. We want to be doing, if we can be, the speed of the road when we merge in. So this is a much quicker road. This is a 70-mile-an-hour road, as you can see. As we come down here, you're not on it for very long, so there'll be a roundabout ahead of us. There it is, we can see the green signs for it now, and at the roundabout there we're going to follow the signs for the B4113. You'll probably remember that from earlier, the B4113. On the green signs there's a little white box, and that's telling you where the B4113 is, and it happens to be the next lane out. And there we are. So these lights are on red, which is good. It is good when the lights are on red here, because it just slows everything down, gives you a little bit more time to think. So what's going to happen here, this left lane, the lane that's on the left here, that's going to disappear off up the M6, right? So that means that in terms of the B4113, we're in the left lane. So you can see that that blue car is disappearing off there up the M6, and we are in this lane here, which is the one next to the kind of curbs, and that's going to keep us into a nice safe position as we come off the roundabout back onto the dual carriageway. Again, it's a 70-mile-an-hour road, but it's not very long, so you've not got much of a chance to show that you're comfortable at this speed. So we really need to get moving. So we need to get moving. We're going to take the second left off the roundabout. So that means we're not going to indicate until we get level with the first left. So we're not indicating on approach. We're going to move on to the roundabout itself when it's clear. There's the first left, McDonald Drive, and this is the second left, the one that goes under the bridge here. Again, what's happened is we've gone on some quick roads for a little while, and now we've come back down to the 30 zone. And you know, if you're anything like most of my students, what happens here is you'll come off the quick road, you'll get to the 30 road, and you'll still be doing 35 just because you're already in that mindset. So do be careful, do watch for that, because it's a real own goal. Well, going straight through the traffic lights here because they're on green, and at the next set of lights then we're going to turn right, and when we turn right at the next set, that's going to be Bayton Road again. Now, there's a little queue coming up to this roundabout, to these traffic lights as you're turning right into Bayton Road. They're on green at the moment, but there is a crossing there. And you might see this fella in the black jacket there. He's going to cross over the road at the crossing. What tends to happen here is that people will move forward. When the lights go to green, people tend to move forward and end up stopping on the crossing. So we've got to be careful here. Got to make sure that when our lights do change and the grey van in front of us moves forward, it moves forward to a space where we can, if we move forward, we can clear the crossing, if that makes any sense, so that we're not stopping on the crossing. So in other words, we're not going to cross the white line until we can get all the way over the crossing there. And there was a lot of crossings in that sentence. So we can see there now that he's moved forward. He's moved forward a long way, which means we can clear the crossing and just wait behind him there. And the lorry behind us is actually stopped on the crossing. So that just gives us, that just proves my point. Just going to wait for the space. And it looks like, can't really see, but it looks like there's a space. Yeah, there it is. Into Bayton Road. And of course we know about Bayton Road, there's lots of lorries on there, and there's lots of lorries that will be parked in the way probably, and people coming in and out of all these kind of workplaces. So, you know, where we can, we want to be giving people room and giving them more room than they need. We've got to be aware of their needs as other drivers. And there we are, there's a van that needs to come through that space, so we're going to give him lots of room, and away we go. So technically, you know, he should give way to us, shouldn't he? Because the lorry was on his side of the road, but, you know, why wouldn't we wait? they're all at work, aren't they? And we're just driving around, so you know, we're going to be about right, really. So the test centre's on the right here, and that is test route number 14. So hopefully you've found that useful, and like I say, if you want to see the other ones, just click the subscribe button. But in the meantime, good luck with everything, and I hope it all works out for you. Cheers, guys.